welcome back. I hope you all had a good lunch. We've got some fantastic speakers this afternoon. And we've got quite a bit of news. We had a wide council meeting yesterday and we voted on some new things. And as you know, in the past we've had Honorary President for a while. We are going to continue that. And we've got two of them here today, but I'm not going to spoil who the second one is just yet. But I'd like to introduce and talk to you today. He's our kilt-wearing friend from Scotland. Co-Honorary President, David Coburn.
I suppose I should start this in Gaelic, but since most people in Scotland more people in Scotland can speak ancient Greek than Gaelic, then I won't. Anyway, long and short of it is, we won. Nobody thought we would. Salmon did everything he possibly could. He used the entire power of the Scottish state to try and stop UKIP winning. Everything he could do, he tried. He was down the mosque, he was in the churches, he was up here, downhill, up dale, wherever he was, he tried to stop us getting in. He said, there will be no UKIP in Scotland. Well, he's wrong. Yeah. It doesn't stop there, ladies and gentlemen. It does not stop there, because we go on and we go on. We will be taking seats in the Scottish Parliament. According to the figures we got from the European election, we should be able to get at least 7 Scottish members of the Scottish Parliament, and we should be able to get possibly 3 Scottish members of Parliament in Westminster. Now that is what we're going to aim for. We may not make it, but we will try. And that's our objective. Everybody here, many of you are English, don't realise the problem of Scottish secession from the United Kingdom. It will not just affect Scotland. You might think, oh, well, what they get up to, who cares? We'll let them get on with it. Well, that's not the case. Because this will affect the entire United Kingdom in a way unseen since the fall of empire. Very serious indeed. We will lose our seat perhaps in the United Nations Security Council, or lose our prestige in the United Nations. All these international bodies that Scotland and England jointly have been members of for the last 200 years, 300 years, are simply going to disappear. That is serious for England as it is for Scotland. And you must take as much attention to this referendum in Scotland as we are paying up there. Now, we won in Scotland, not in the votes of the middle classes. We did get a lot of middle class votes, I'm sure. But we won on the votes of working class Scots. We marched around the estates of Easterhouse, places you'd never expect a Conservative, let alone a UKIP man or woman, to be elected. And there were people coming up to us saying, thank God you're here. The Labour Party in Scotland is like the Politburo. It's been there for years, it's immovable. It's like Eastern Europe, and it's massively corrupt. The Scottish National Party, they're a bunch of Edinburgh solicitors in kilts, dancing the Highland fling. They are more interested in battles fought between 2 Norman French-speaking kings 700 years ago at the Battle of Bannockburn than they are in the modern warfare, perhaps your fathers and grandfathers fought in World War II. People didn't ask whether you were Scottish, English, Irish or Welsh if they were shooting you down with a Messerschmitt. And that interests me an awful lot more than battles fought in the Middle Ages. Scotland and England together have formed a strong alliance which has led us to dominate this planet. It is our form of government, whether it be through the American form or through our colonial forms, such as India, the greatest and largest democracy in the world. Those are things this country, and may I say, especially Scotland, in the form of people like Hume and Adam Smith and all that sort of thing, Those thoughts and ideas came from the Edinburgh Enlightenment and came from Great Britain. Now, we've done that together. Scotland has been able to trampoline off England, and England has trampolined off Scotland. Together, we are a force in the world. You end that force, you change the nature of the world, and not in a good way. So I urge you all to urge your friends, your cousins, your nephews, your aunties, your uncles. If you're up in Scotland, you've got to vote against this appalling independence racket. It is a nonsense. Alex Salmon is not offering independence to Scots. He's not offering anything of the sort. He's offering rule from Brussels, political rule from Brussels, and he's offering financial rule from Frankfurt. What sort of independence is that? UKIP are going to offer Scotland independence, and I'll tell you what sort of independence we'll offer you. We will take power back from Brussels and we'll give it to where it actually belongs, Westminster and Honorary, and nowhere else. In Scotland are finished. They're dead in the water. They exist no more. They had a little blip during the election, but nothing much. Just a little flutter of the heart. But the patient is turned. We are the future in Scotland. People in Scotland are fed up of the Scotland of Keir Hardie, of mental Gordon Brown. They don't want that rubbish anymore. They want a decent lifestyle. And they know in the modern world that is only got through hard work, private enterprise, and private businesses. We want to give them the Scotland of Adam Smith, of Hume, of Andrew Carnegie. Let's get rid of all this Scottish socialist rubbish Scotland's been inflicted on for 50 years. We're going to give them something else, and it's UKIP that's going to give it to them, because the Conservative Party cannot. And I tell you now, at the next election, we will be looking to put people into Westminster from UKIP, and we will be looking to put MSPs into the Scottish Parliament. We will be looking, under proportional representation in Scotland, very rapidly to move towards a majority UKIP government in Scotland. Laugh as you may, they told us we couldn't get one MEP in Scotland. We've got one now. And I'll tell you something else, we will soon have representatives in both Holyrood and Westminster. Now, the Better Together campaign didn't want anything to do with us. I approached them, I said, look, can I help? UKIP want to get involved. No, we don't want you. No, we're not interested in you. Go away. So, good. They singularly managed to hit Salmon where it hurts. But since UKIP have got into the European Parliament, we've been able to hit him where it hurts. I asked Herr Junkers on our first meeting with the EDD group in this Parliament, will Scotland be out of the EU if they vote for separation? And his answer, after much flapping about, flowering about, all the rest of it, having like mad, he eventually sort of said, yes, we will be out. Subsequent to that, we asked him, well, he actually volunteered this, it was a better thing of it. When it came to he obviously had to clear up the mess he made at the EDD group meeting, because it went viral all over the world, the fact he said we were out. He even made it clear there that Scotland would have to wait 5 years for entry into the European Union, should it become detached from England, and if that's the case, we'd be in after Turkey. Now, that leaves Mr. Salmon in a very, very sticky position. He's got no pound, he's got no euro. What's he going to use for money? Buttons? Bobbies? This man is no longer seen to be credible. He seems to be rather incredible. And we are now going on the attack in Scotland. And we're not going mad about it because we know we've got a general election to fight. And there's enough money being thrown at this. The Scots are bored to death with the arguments. They've had them all. But what we are doing I'm going to tour up there with a gentleman I've employed as my helper and political advisor in Europe. He's a former Polish ambassador to the European Parliament. And he and I are going to do a tour of Scotland and larger cities, explaining to them, explaining to ordinary people in Scotland, the problems that he believes, as a Polish ambassador to the European Union, who started off as an enthusiast, he feels the problems that Scotland independent within the European Union would suffer with independence. And he is a wise man and knows his stuff. So we will be taking that. It's a new way of getting the argument across to the Scots people. Nobody else has tried. So that's going to be good. And furthermore, I can't tell you the date for security purposes, because the silent Nazis will be all over us, as they usually are. But Nigel will be going up to Scotland, and he will be speaking, and he will be adding to the general enjoyment of affairs in Scotland. And I think that is extremely brave of him. His last visit to Scotland was a massive success. We had 180 to 200 people in the room. We had a pipe band, and we had a bunch of hooligans outside. All middle class, all from Morningside, Bearsden, and all sort of smart parts of Scotland. But not many of them were of working class origin. The working class people were far too busy thinking of voting for us in the forthcoming election. Now, when I went to the European Parliament, I thought it was all going to be marble and chandeliers. That's what I thought. I thought it was all marble and chandeliers and Sir Humphreys everywhere. Well, it's not. It looks like a 1970s students' union, the sort I used to use. Horrible, manky industrial carpeting, sticks to your feet, quite revolting. Horrible modern architecture that's meaningless and disgusting and destroys the soul. And the people in it surprised me even more. It was all the old smelly old trots I remember those students' unions. The same types. The sort of mad, let's get friendly with Chile, or friendly with all sorts of mad regimes in the third world. And there they all were. And these guys are now, you might think MSPs, no they're not. They're not members, they're MEPs. They are the administration. They are the bureaucrats. It looks like a permanent dress down Friday. Everybody's dressed like a student. And these are the authoritarian lunatics who used to plague our lives in the 70s when I was at university. And now, I wonder what happened to them. They've all found a job. And that's what they all are, creating mayhem for this country, and not only this country, but every country in Europe. We are not just fighting to get Britain out of the EU. We are fighting to liberate Europe from the EU. It's not just us. We have allies in the European Union. We have the Czech, we have Swedes, we have Italians, all of whom have the same problems in the EU that we have. It is our duty not just to liberate Britain, but to liberate Europe from this hideous authoritarian dictatorship. And the sooner we do it, the better. And I would like to just say one last thing. I'd like to thank YI in Scotland, who I would not be in if it wasn't for them. Young Joe Jenkins here did a whacking job as the leader of YI in Scotland. Young Olaf up there, our cameraman and our future Hitchcock or whatever, did a wonderful job getting us on, filming us, getting that on the telly. We have a dynamic bunch of people up in Scotland, shockingly dynamic. And we are going to use that. Our aim is to lead the rest of UKIP. We are going to show the rest of them how it's done. So that's a big tackle, and we're going to do it. We're going to be the best. We may be small at the moment, but we're growing. We're now, what we know? Over 1,000 members. And it's growing massively. Every day we get loads of stuff coming in. We've got a lot of money in the account that's come in. We're doing well. I simply believe that we could produce some of our first MPs for the United Kingdom in Scotland. And that's what I'm going to try and do. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.